1906, she founded a radical women's journal with another female poet called China Women's News, though it published only 2 issues before it was closed by the authorities. In 1907, she became head of the Datong School in Shaoxing, ostensibly a school for sport teachers, but really intended for the military training of revolutionaries. This is some great writer.
Yeah.
Maybe have been a great general even.
Yeah.
So she was on the 6th of July 1907. She was caught by the authorities before a scheduled uprising in Anqing. He confessed his involvement in the torture and was executed.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, no. He confessed his. Oh, sorry. Su Xilin was caught by the authorities. On July 12, the authorities arrested Hu at the school for girls, where she was the principal. She was tortured as well, but refused to admit her involvement in the plot. Instead, the authorities used her own writing as an incrimination against her, and a few days later she was publicly beheaded in her home village, Tianjin, at the age of 31. Her last written words, her death poem, uses the literal meaning of her name, Autumn Gem, to lament of the failed revolution that she would never see take place. Autumn wind, autumn rain, they make one die. She was immortalized in the Republic of China's popular consciousness and literature after her death. She is now buried beside West Lake in Hangzhou. People's Republic of China established a museum for her in Shaoxing, named after her former residence. Her life has been portrayed in plays, popular movies, and a documentary. Interesting. Literary works. She is mainly remembered here as a revolutionary feminist, but her poetry and essays are often overlooked, although not in Civilization. Her writing reflects an exceptional education.
She's a great artist. Huh?
Oh, she's a great artist.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought a great.
But
of course
we
we
can't
cannot.
get great writers.
So a great artist. Interesting. Okay. Her writing reflects an exceptional education in classical literature, and she writes traditional
you know
poetry.
what? I think
Yeah.
we might be looking at the wrong person.
That's a pity.
Although Hu Jin is great, I just realized it's Hu Ying. Although I'm really happy with this mistake that we get to learn about a great feminist.
A great feminist. Let's. All right.
Is it different than Hu Ying? Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, Chinese painter.
We've been praising. Sending your praises.
Sending the praises the wrong way. Well, I'm
gonna give you another wiki crutch for this.
Yeah, give me another wiki crutch for that. And you know what? Give me also a wow for this.
Yeah.
But since we
we learned something interesting.
We did learn something about
before you learn about King. I don't
really want to talk about it because this is basically a dude, a Chinese painter who had some brush techniques going on.
Okay.
An old guy from the 16th century.
Let's just forest guitars.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder what this music will sound like when we get there.
I like how it has the Firaxis symbol on the...
Oh, subtle.
Nice. It was a small gig.
It was a...
Second tier performance.
Have we already won the game?
No, we're gonna win in a couple of turns, I believe.
Next
couple
turn.
of turns.
This
Couple of turns.
Not a couple, this is it.
I think we need 2 turns, but we'll see.
This is it.
We shall see. You have satisfied. Yeah, this guy is so gossiping though.
Oh yeah, he's like, ooh, tell me all your secrets, and there's some others too.
This is exactly what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You want?
Ooh, this. Wait.
Is this our spy?
Yeah.
No. Go away.
Why can't you now?
I don't know.
Give spies.
But I don't want to give spies. It is our spy, right? Oh no, it was a different spy.
Oh, we captured him.
Yeah.
Oh.
But no, still, you try to spy. If you spy, then you don't get back your spy.
Oh man, this spy's got a home. He's got a family.
Well, he had to bargain harder. Look, Poundmaker has not been good to us.
That's true. But that's by now centuries ago. Are you not willing to let this slide?
No, because he's the only one who is not offering an alliance.
Alright.
So I'm not letting this go.
Alright.
This is not gonna go.
This aggression will not stand.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Okay, Wolfgang.
Go
to Broadway.
How come we've not yet won?
Because we need a couple more turns, I told you.
No, we needed only 4 turns 3 turns ago.
Yeah, but then Mansa Musa built something. And
oh, good. Please keep on building stuff, Mansa Musa, because it's kind of, we kind of don't want it.
I need a religious artist to make this museum theming. Anyway, it really doesn't.
Such a weird utterance as well.
Okay, we're gonna make this boom.
Ooh, nice.
Here, the opening of their new geothermal plant, although this is not geothermal. Finally, the sun breaks free from the clouds. Already the skies seem cleaner.
Have a little look at the skies and what they're doing right now in terms of the
First
climate.
of all, I'm gonna look at this, at
wait.
the plant.
The plant.
Thing.
Doesn't look very clean, but I guess...
It does not look clean,
But I guess that's what it is.
Okay.
It looks industrial.
Wait, our governors have promotions.
Go for the one that allows you to... Oh, actually, no.
See these improvements, buildings, and this.
Oh, wow, that's neat.
That's neat.
Renewable subsidizer, what is that? The thing.
All sort wind farms, solar farms, and
go for that.
plus to electricity. Okay.
At some point we will have a lot of that.
Yeah, hopefully. Fuck. Okay. You want to see the skies?
So we are.
We do have some contribution to this because we Mansa Musa is not clean.
He's not.
Not clean at all. We are using some oil and we are using some coal.
Yes.
In general, it's the coal that does it, which is Mansa Musa.
Which is still the case, even after all this time. It is still the coal that does it.
Yeah. Global temperature is plus 0.8 degrees, changing in Celsius from ancient era. River flooding 2% chance, drought 6% chance, but nothing from... So, generally the climate change, only the storms have done something. Sea level change expected in 20 terms. Next melt of polar ice expected in 4 terms.
Because we have some rise of temperature.
Yeah, but so far we're good. So we'll see when this happens.
You know that actually this will be more or less the end of our civilization.
Will it? Why? Because of our islands?
We have islands, we have coastal cities.
Yeah. I want to buy this. And I want to buy this. For culture bombing. Culture bombing. Pumping.
Do you even pump?
Do you
even culture pump?
The government, we have a full government plaza here. We need a research lab, of course.
Hey, we should also talk about the fun, the short meeting we just had earlier with Leon van Galen from the Faculty of Humanities.
Go ahead.
It was fun. We're gonna be doing Minecraft at the University of Leiden, Faculty of Humanities.
Yeah.
Leiden is 444. Well, not Leiden the city. Leiden University
Leiden
is 444 years young.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing all sorts of festivities, and as part of those festivities, on the 25th of May, we are going to be Minecrafting with in the computer lab with what will probably be a bunch of kids, mostly, or maybe some adults. You never know. No.
But you wanted this island?
No, that island.
Oh, I thought this.
That
Sorry. I really thought you meant this one. I'm not. But
no buts.
Why?
I mean, that island would also be acceptable, I guess, but the other island is even cooler.
Okay. Alright. You get back here. Ulundi, make an aquarium. Upgrade to destroyer. Yeah, of course I'm gonna upgrade it to destroyer. This destroyer. Here, what do we want here? An aquarium as well, I believe.
Just because we can build some wonder here.
It's gonna take forever, but let's make something old like Kilwa.
Yeah, or Mont Saint-Michel.
Sure. In an area where it's gonna flood.
Well, that's very topical for Mont Saint-Michel. You ever been there?
No.
I think I talked about this last time.
I think you did.
I probably did.
Let's see where we're at in terms of victory. 2 turns.
No, I don't think I did because we didn't build Mont Saint-Michel last time.
Can't remember. I want to see what the flip we're gonna be doing here. I need to establish the other governor, the one with the fisheries.
It can be hard to remember what you did over 36 hours.
It most definitely can.
Well, you know, if I didn't talk about Mont Saint Michel in the previous 36 hours of streaming Civilization, just let us know and I will gladly talk about Mont Saint Michel.
Things are occurring. Things are happening. We're gonna be culture bombing this area even more. Look at all this. I want to say look at all these crabs again, but every time I just can't.
You cannot get yourself to talk about your crabs.
No.
I know, man. But it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, okay. A seaport. We don't have a seaport here? How is this even...
Make it happen. Seaports.
Okay, you go here. Culture bomb this. Why didn't you expand anyway?
Yeah, you expanded.
Yeah, but not here, which is what I wanted.
I have to buy it.
Can I? No, I cannot buy it.
You're not allowed to buy it.
But I have bought this, so that's fine.
Oh yeah.
This city is growing fast as well. It's all the food that we are producing that does it.
All those fish sticks.
45.
You like fish sticks?
I do like fish sticks, but I haven't had them in a while.
Yeah, you're a gay fish. But not in a while.
But not in a while. You're
My battery's running low. Oh dear.
Builder. This builder. What do we want this builder to do? He has a lot of builds. Still. Go there, plant some trees, my friend. Forest guitars. Where are they gonna perform next? In a theater square? In a university?
So would you consider
the Great Library?
The Great Library.
Or the Forbidden City?
Oh, the Forbidden City.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, sorry, if you can choose.
4% chance, these rockers. Oh. Forbidden City. Go! Oh, look, now we have smoke. Or we had smoke before.
I honestly don't remember.
But we're leveling up, but nothing changes. Like, I would expect something like more fancy.
Yeah, me too. More stuff. Fancy effects. And also, we didn't level up this time.
10,000 tourism.
Yes, you had to be there. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Would you consider rock and roll to be high culture?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Depending on what we mean with high culture.
Well, high culture. Like Bach is, classical music is considered, opera is considered high culture.
I think so.
So is rock and roll also high culture?
So. Yeah.
Probably would be, not alone in your opinion, but not.
But probably not the most popular opinion?
Probably not. But I think the whole distinction between high and low culture is of course a bit
but
problematic.
This is the main problem.
But there's something to be said about the way that at least civilization just embraces something like rock and roll and classical music, and that is really new for the last two civilizations. I mean, it always did Broadway and things. Broadway is almost classical high culture in a way. It is.
Look, you can't argue with. We won.
You can't argue with that we won.
The fact that we won. Achievements, the taste of victory.
Alright, to Mecca, I'm gonna be wiki crutching that. Wiki looking that.
Do we want to be looking at this video again?
No. Urban Dictionary gives me to Mecca. I'm kind of afraid.
Evolving English.
To Mecca.
A
phrase commonly used by the native people of New Zealand, Maori, to show that they are impressed or show respect for your actions.
Nice.
Its literal translation is too much.
Too much. This is literally what we did in this game, though. Too much.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we are gonna keep playing as we said. So we're gonna play just one more turn, as per our title.
Oh, you know what? What Mecha actually is?
No.
It's a strike with the fist or punch.
Too much. Two punch.
And what two is probably two.
Yeah.
Two is.
Oh, we didn't do two.
To turn up, to erect, to raise, to. So basically, it's like a raised fist.
Yeah. We didn't do too well. We shot the goal level of play.
Last time we did better.
Did we? What did we have last time?
I think last time we were up there with Winston Churchill and Nelson Mandela.
But actually. Probably because we didn't play for too long.
Yeah, that really always just impacts your round.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's building. Let's see. Does it have something about culture? No.
Yeah, player culture.
Where is it? There. Oh, we dropped a little bit here and then.
Yeah, that's because we first got bumped up because of the rock concert.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, as we said, we won.
As
That
we
was
said,
expected.
by the way, we finally hit like the moment where we can actually like on the screen have the title of this streaming series.
Here.
Just one more turn. Just give me one more
Just give
turn.
me one more turn. Just let me have it.
Quickly export the timeline though.
Export timeline.
Yeah. Thank you. Useful.
Yes.
The worth of a culture is not measured by its accomplishment, but in how those accomplishments last and how they are remembered.
Exactly.
The beauty that you have inspired our people to create will ensure that our culture stands for all time. It is weird. It is the exact same text. It is the exact same victory that we had last time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not exact same in the way that we got there.
No.
We've been talking a lot about, but what I want to say is this feels different for me.
Does it?
Yes. This culture victory for me feels very different from a culture victory.
Yeah, it was very because last time we didn't really go for it. It was very aggressive. We kept doing a lot more stuff, and it just so happened, and now we were clearly the dominant culture. Like we played towards this.
We played toward this. At the same time,
I'm just gonna go for one more turn, by the way.
Yeah, go for one more turn. And that's interesting because we've been saying in our presentations that it is really teleological in the sense that the end of history, quite literally the end of game and civilization, has only 5 end states.
Yep.
It's this, culture victory, it's domination, it's science, it's religion, and now it also has diplomatic.
Exactly.
It didn't have that, but now it does.
And we have, by the way, 3 points for this.
We are also going to get all the other ones bar religion if we need to.
Yeah.
We doesn't matter, of course.
I mean, if we wanted to, we could get religion as well.
Yeah. But that said, even if these are the only 5 possible end states of the game, it's an interesting sensation that I'm really like undercutting our own analysis here. That this feels very different from the Persian culture victory that we had. And it's not only because there's additional features, like the World Congress and this and that, and it really is just the playstyle, the dynamics of the game based on our inputs and based on how, of course, the game responded to that.
Yeah.
And I've even said already last stream that it feels different because we all have these non-European, quote-unquote, indigenous peoples, indigenous cultures there, or what you want to call it, because it's a difficult term when you're talking about Japan. Because but anyway, these non-European civilizations there.
Yeah.
Cultures. It just feels very different to me. And that's interesting though, so that even within the scope of something narrow, a cultural domination, the hegemony, this feels like a natural hegemony. Like, we were just there, we were just making our fisheries, expanding to islands, basically being friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, also
and it sort of happened.
It sort of happened, yeah, exactly. We sort of happened to become the culture, the dominant culture in this world.
Yeah. Yeah, in many ways. And
with Persia, it didn't just sort of happen.
With Persia, it didn't just happen. At some point, we decided, look, we're doing this, but also we were killing everybody in the meantime.
So we were basically like, we are now basically the dominant culture because we kind of destroyed everybody else.
Yeah. So the cultural victory of Persia was happened because we were on our way to a domination victory. Yeah. And here we were not. We were clearly not.
And I have to say that there's something in there because we sort of started the same way with the Maori. Not necessarily in all the same senses, but we had an early war.
Yes.
We defeated our opponents in that early war, probably roughly around the same time that we originally defeated the Greek. And
much earlier, I believe.
Much earlier, even, but anyway, early on in the early game.
Yeah.
And so it could have gone the same way. It was just like taking on militarily other civilizations, but it didn't. So that to me, yeah, there's something there that I'm surprised by how different this feels.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that makes the game so, like, there are two different things here. It's the analysis that we're making, that the game is very teleological, and at the same time it has, like, it has this very strict view of the future and how history ends. But this is the analysis of the text, so to speak, of the game.
Thanks, Krijn.
And then there is the other side of it, which is the experiential side, that really is very hard to transmit. Like, to put it into words that we have the same outcome. We have different ways, and if somebody analyzes both games, can probably see the differences. But at face value, if you just read what the game does, what it says,
if you read it, that's also my problem. We don't want to get too deep into academies here, but that's my problem with the idea of reading Civilization as a text.
Yes,
is that if you read it just as a text, as a sort of a textual history of somebody playing a text, then you have all these sorts of this very reductive view of everything.
Yeah,
but if you analyze it as an experience or as many different experiences, you see that there's still a lot of breadth within those narrow scopes. But still, I do think in the end that if you really start thinking about it, it is not Civilization. It is, in this case, the player input.
Exactly. So that is what makes the game great. There, we're getting our lenses back. So this is one of the things that makes this game great. This is what the game says. Okay, this game is great, but it's also problematic.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can read it for what it is. We can read the problems with it and we can analyze them, and they are still there. That doesn't mean it's not enjoyable, and at the same time, it doesn't mean that it doesn't allow you. Because we've at many points said this phrase from Sid and Ymir, and we don't want to project our own ideologies into the game. They are projecting something, but we still have the space to do our own thing. Yeah. Like this Maori exhibition play that we've been doing. Nobody told us to do it. We said at some point, hey, let's do this. And we're really trying. So we are doing what Sid Meier wanted the players to do.
Is to make their own.
To make their own histories, to make their own versions. But we also recognize that it's not a blank canvas.
No.
Right? So we are still getting to do the thing that we want.
We are. It is like a. But like a set space. It's like in a sense like a rock concert. It is within the mausoleum or whatever.
Yeah.
Within that we're having our performance.
Yes.
We are in this case a performance that has to do with island colonization.
Mm-hmm.
And or a performance that has to do with cultural focus that is not joined by a military focus.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's a playground.
It is a playground in that sense still. But of course, it is interesting how the game. I think we are really being a little bit deceived here by how flexible the game seems. We're doing that to ourselves. We are creating this experience that this is very different. But of course, in the end,
it's not.
It's the same.
Very different.
It's the same.
It's the same game. It's the same gameplay. We're just taking advantage of the different ways to play.
I mean, there's not exactly the same gameplay. We focused on certain different aspects a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But really, it is the same deal. You pay differently than I do, of course. So you end up paying on, which certainly is not a bad strategy.
Still not. I mean, look, I made the city you wanted.
Kapiti. All right.
Right here.
Let's look up Kapiti and let's just sort of gestate on this
thing that just think about this a bit more, because it is interesting, and we've talked in many of our talks and our papers and stuff like that. We often talk about how it is important, if you want to analyze games, to actually play them, because it often, to me, it seems, and I don't want to bash any colleagues, but it often seems that a lot of people who want to go into games to see them, they have an excitement. Oh, this game talks about the period that I'm working on. And they don't really play it as a game first and then try to analyze. It's like going into watching.
They play it as a text.
Yeah, they play it as a text. Like, you don't read the book, you don't read it first to enjoy it and then analyze it. You're reading it to analyze it. And this is not, especially with games, I don't think it works. I think it is really important that we play the games for what they are, to have fun, and then try to analyze them.
Try to have the
discussion.
Yeah, try to
them.
analyze the experiences that you have there. And at the same time, I do think that there's this is what we're also doing plenty, is analyze it in its metaphorical, quote-unquote, textual sense.
Yeah.
When we, of course, highlight, for example, last week we highlighted, their stance on migration, which is not even metaphorical, but just
Yes.
clearly out there. Or there's also, which is something that we don't really do during the stream, but we could do more of, is discuss in depth the mechanics, the underlying systems of the game, which is something that is we sometimes do, but you could even do it much deeper, and you could analyze the code of the game. That's hard with a commercial game like Civilization.
Yeah.
The source code is not there, not even for the first Civilization, unfortunately.
No.
I would love to
I
look at
know.
the source code of the first Civilization.
It would be great.
Yes.
It would be great.
Sid,
Please.
we know you're an avid watcher of our streams, and you actually go under the pseudonym of John Allen Pascoe.
Hey, John.
Please let us play with the source code of Civilization 1.
I'm gonna give another concert.
Yes! Victory concert!
Yes. Let's do this. I don't think they're getting above level 4. I mean, we've tried. We've been trying. But these guys are gonna keep rocking until they are retired.
They are gonna keep rocking until they are retired. Another top tier performance. Let me briefly tell you about Kapiti Island.
Please.
Which is
Let's talk about
Kapiti.
Is it in the South Pole?
It is not in the South Pole. It is in fact to the south of the North Island.
Okay.
It is definitely not as frigid as that. There's a geothermal vent there, by the way.
That's why I built it here and not here.
That's
because
actually pretty damn.
And I'm like, yes, this is a good location actually. Thanks, Angus.
Nice. So it is 10 kilometers long and roughly 2 kilometers wide. So it kind of,
Okay.
It's being more or less rectangular in shape. The island is separated from the North Island. It's the highest point on the island is Tutere Moana, which is 521 meters. Particularly rocky and has high cliffs, some hundreds of meters high that drop straight into the sea. I think I've seen this island when I took
There's a free seat here.
Oh no, I haven't seen it. Ha! Nice. The full Maori name of the island is Te Waiwai Kapiti Otara Rau Ko Rangitane.
Oh wow, that's a...
Which, despite
that
popular
is
misconception, is unrelated to the Maori word kapiti, cabbage.
Okay. Alright.
Popular misconception.
Popular, yeah.
Not as popular that it has reached the shores of the Netherlands, but okay. The island was surveyed in 1770 during the first voyage of James Cook. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Maori settled on the island.
Yeah.
Te Ropa Raha formed a base here, and in Ngati Toa tribe regularly sailed in canoes on raiding journeys up to the Whanganui River and down to Marlborough. In the Battle of Wairau in 1824, Ngati Toa destroyed a force of 2,000 mainland warriors who had landed on the northern end of Kapiti in an attempt to capture the island.
Okay.
The sea nearby was a nursery for whales, and during whaling times 2,000 people were based on the island. Okay. Present day, the island is the site of Kapiti Island Natural Reserve and adjoins the Kapiti Marine Reserve. Most of it is in New Zealand Crown ownership.
Nice.
Alright.
I want to make an observation. So we completed environmentalism and we got this message that says the mysteries of science and the questions of culture are still open to us, but now the connections between discoveries are tantalizing dim. As our investigations proceed, the relationship between technologies and civics will reveal themselves in time.
Basically what they mean, you reach the end of the civic tree, the
No,
preordained civic tree.
Yeah, no, I think this is a new thing, and it really, because with the new governments, all the new governments are technology related. So all the future technologies, all the future governments are technology related. I think it implies that at this point we're reaching a tipping point where science and culture were distinct.
No, that is not what it implies.
No?
What this implies is that we do not really know now
what's coming up next.
What's coming up? What will be boosted by what? Because of course it hasn't been. That
But we're not here yet, though,
no,
right?
but no. But that's literally what it means.
Me.
Adopt a government. So here it is. Here there's still.
Yeah, but
I think that's what it means. I don't think it has any sort of larger.
Would be.
It's also interestingly that
I like
they
how
sort
we
of
perform only in this culture, by the way.
yes. It's weird how
But I'm just giving concept.
no, that's great. Look at these
Oh yeah.
the Mali special unit
like,
looking on.
Headliners.
Headliners. Oh, okay. Well, you
Hey, 12,000.
12,000. We'll have headliners worth 12,000 tourism.
Yeah. By the way, I made you a forest here.
Oh, lovely, because you took away one.
I didn't take away any.
Oh, you just made forests.
I'm just making forests in this place because I want to. Keep going.
Yeah. So anyway, it's interesting that now they say like, hey, we're reaching the end of the civic tree, we're reaching the end of the tech tree.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of now becomes disjoined. I think it's of course it's because of what they decided to do that this is now unclear to us what will happen when, and that there's no direct relation probably between one of them. But that is presupposing that there is this direct relation between the civic and the tech tree most of the time already.
Yeah.
Which I think from a flavor perspective, I think we showed on a lot of occasions by reading this game as a text, by analyzing it in that sense, is just wrong.
Yeah.
There's just, I mean, not in all cases. It's not like, oh, this whole thing is just like fantasy, but there's a lot of tendentious relations between even within the tech trees itself, even within technologies itself, and the things that they give, and then especially between the tech and the civic tree.
It's happening.
It's happening.
The world is warming, and there may be serious consequences to come. Some polar ice has melted, and low-lying settlements may be at risk in the future. If the temperature rises further, additional coastal lowlands may flood, eventually sinking beneath the waves. We may want to construct a flood barrier in our cities at risk. Climate change will also lead to worsening and more frequent storms. You can see information about the world's climate on the climate screen.
Alright. Basically, we have to build flood barriers.
Yeah. I want to see if there is if it has like any visual impact on the on anything. But
maybe with the lens or something like that.
No. Let's see what it says here. So we are climate change phase 1. 10% of the polar ice.
Basically,
next melt expected in 15
we are
years.
basically still
this guy.
Well, us too.
Us too, but a little bit. Only half of him.
This kind of thinking is exactly what gets us.
But it's interesting that climate change starts after the Industrial Revolution, also in terms of time, right? In 1888.
This is one of those things that this system they've rigged.
Yeah, they've rigged it.
They've rigged it. This is nothing to do with when. Well, of course, there's something to do when you.
So we're building flood barriers.
But it is definitely happening around this time somewhere.
We're gonna build woods. He's gonna build
wood
geothermal plant. He's gonna keep performing on places.
Did we not already hit those places?
No. Otherwise, they see once you hit them, you can't play there again.
Ah, okay.
No, it's just
I like how it just pops up. Legend of Rock. There we go.
We are the Legend of Rock.
Were we just lucky with this unit? I think so.
I think they should have retired by now.
But not only that, but because they always give 4 or 5 star.
Oh, I don't know. I think it has to do with their level.
How many stars would you give Manolis' gig yesterday?
Oh, it was great. It was very interesting.
Like Legends of Rock, right?
No, Legends of Rebetico if you want, then maybe.
Okay, good. Nice.
Make something.
I should have come out.
You should have.
Next time. I should have. I thought like, this guy's probably already gone now, but I should have remembered that you are young and spry.
Yes. I'm afraid about
such a good movie. Sorry, Mega. I've missed the reference about the good movie.
Rejoice with me, friend, for we are free from every want and can devote our time to the will of God. What? Maybe you. The ice is melting.
What does he mean with that?
I don't even know.
What?
I think he's happy because we've been...
But because we don't have to play the game anymore, it's like, hey,
We're free.
We're free. We can now stop pretending to be each other's throat, and we can just do whatever we want.
There is this... yes. Have my alliance. There is this huge part of the map that we have not explored.
It's Japan.
No, yeah, partly. Not only.
It's mostly.
Mostly Japan, I guess. I'm gonna send a ship.
First upgrade is.
I will.
It
will cost a little bit, but. This is 16 turns away. Turns have started taking longer, and it's kind of frustrating.
You mean the computer's turns?
Yeah.
This always happens.
I know.
At the end of civilization.
Yeah, it gets a little bit annoying. At
Just
this point.
look at that red blotch on the map.
Advanced flight.
You know what? I'm actually sure that we've been seduced by civilization to experience this in this setting.
What do you mean?
Because it's a cultural victory in which we feel very different from the Persia one, but at the same time, if you just look at the map, we just created this huge globe-spanning territory that is only Maori.
Only Maori.
And in fact, even from a Maori point of view, I'm not saying that I know what their culture is about intimately, but they would never see like such a cultural homogeneity across, especially across such a large stretch of land, because their focus is very much on the iwi, on the tribe, and on the subdivisions of them, which I now forgot the name for, and on the genealogies of them. And we seem like we're playing this, but I feel we got cut into the game, and of course we are not. We're playing the games on civs or SIDS, maybe even terms.
Yeah.
And we managed to finagle a type of experience in there that is... Oh, that looks weird.
Yeah.
It just is different from but it's really us doing that.
Yeah. No, it is.
And in that sense, it is also the game doing that, because it allows us to just give us that experience. But really, if you just look at the little map, that's what I mean on the bottom over there, with all the red
here.
It is simply same old Civ. Same old Civ as always. Interesting stuff. I mean, same old Civ is not bad old Civ. It is just
for sure. Let's just not spend gold on it since we can make it. I'm gonna give another concert. Why can't we go?
Same old Civ also, of course, means that.
Oh
no!
5th tier performance.
Oh, it was a masterful and heartfelt performance before the band. A bittersweet moment. The members are already planning new and separate projects.
We have to. It was a great run, Forest Guitars. It was a great run. Thank you very much. It was
great.
You've contributed to our cultural victory significantly.
Yeah, let's build. They split now. We have to build 2 rock bands.
We have to the side.
Actually, 3 rock bands.
Yeah, because they have 3.
Split, yeah, or one of them actually did something completely different.
Yeah, maybe one left and the other 2 made something new.
No. One left and just became like he became a fisher.
A fisher in one of our fisheries.
One of our fisheries. She's like, I just want to do something else. I just want to fish. I just want to provide for the people.
The drummer moved to the South Pole.
But could we even? And he's a fisher there now.
Paradoxically, the citizens of Ulundi are both incredibly proud of their city size and yet never stop complaining about how crowded it has gotten. What is this? Why are we getting an error score from this? Oh, because we got... because it's at 2 million now.
Oh, okay.
We have a city of 2 million people.
That's good. Even that's very close to the desert. We should start probably terraforming parts of the desert as soon as we get the chance for that.
Yeah. Okay. Where is this builder? Look at how many forests.
But but you have to build a new rock band, and probably you can only do that at places where you've got like a.
Yeah, don't worry.
But in Kapiti you cannot build a rock band.
I'm just.
Oh, that's where the fishery fisher unit has gone to.
No, I'm just look at that national.
Actually, that's the thing. Redcliffe, these we've seen before.
Yeah. I can buy.
So we talked about that painter a long time ago. And now we actually ended up talking about
What's a what? What?
Angkor Wat. It's the Buddhist site, my friend.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna buy a rock band.
Yes, this is the OG Force guitars.
Oh, we cannot buy the flood barriers? I'm gonna build flood barriers instead.
But and buy one more rock band then.
I will, don't worry. I wanna send this here.
And
I wanna buy the rock band here.
Yeah. And get rid of Buddhism from our Atunis city. Get yourself some missionaries.
Oh wait. One thing at a time.
No, multitask. Come on.
Flood barriers.
Come on, APM.
Click.
That's oh yes, I can see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look at the city. I'm gonna get another point.
You're gonna get another point. You're doing well there. Talking about that, you should scoot over our exhibition play thingy because it's covering our nuclear resources.
In a bit. So this rock band, we are gonna start performing elsewhere. Now.
Yeah, they're gonna go towards the other part of the globe.
First of all, give it a promotion. It's called Electric Princess. What is this?
There is nothing.
What is this for a name? Let's think. We need something. Maori.
Jungle. Oh, something Maori.
Jade. Jade.
Okay, then call it Unamu. If that's Jade.
I'm gonna make it.
Right.
Call it Iron Jade. Iron Jaden.
But they didn't have any iron.
No, but they had Jade.
Yes, but Iron Jaden. Okay, I get the pun though. Iron Jaden. Fair. Go for it.
There we go. Goes to 11. Of course, goes to 11. Civilization within 10 tiles receive 50%. Yes. Do you get the goes to 11 reference?
Yes.
Okay, goes to 11 then.
Goes to 11. Yeah. All right.
Here, what do we want? A flood barrier. We want a flood barrier for this internal flooding anyway. The other rock band.
Electrical Longboard has joined us, which is kind of cool. I don't know. Electrical Longboard.
So we need another name.
Oh, sorry. What was this? What was the original name?
It was stupid. So we need a new name. We need a new Maori metal name.
I'm just gonna Google.
Google
you
Maori.
can correct me for that. Maori metal.
Maori metal. Alien weaponry.
Kai Tangata. Wait, that is actually.
That's the song. The name of the song.
No, alien weaponry is the actual name of the Maori heavy metal. Okay. Metal music and the haka. This is 1842. Oh, very nice.
Are these the same guys?
Reinterpreting classic songs, I don't know. A Maori dance ritual are surprisingly similar, according. Metal music and the haka are surprisingly similar. Nice.
Metal.
All right. I'm. Let's just go for alien weaponry.
Just a tribute.
I think that alien weaponry. Kai Tangata official video. I'm not entirely sure that they. Heavy metal band from Waipu, New Zealand. All right, cool. I kind of like the name of it as well.
Okay,
it works.
And they're indie.
They are indie.
I don't think they would like this, but you know.
Sorry, you don't get to choose.
It's our call.
Yeah.
You make this culture bomb.
I'm gonna be listening to some alien weaponry later. Sure. Maori metal.
Nice. What can we do here? Can I buy this tile? Not yet. Can I buy it from here? No. I'm just gonna expand this a little bit. In any case. Next turn. Man, this is going fast. Polarize. Bipolarize. Is it any good?
You are the metal fan, but sure. I like how it's introducing itself. It really gives this whole Kai Tangata intro.
Okay. Link it to the chat. Man. Link it to the chat.
I'm kind of liking it. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, you be the judge because I'm not anybody.
Plug it down on the chat.
I'm plucking it down on the chat.
Alright. Donatello, my friend, go make something. Iron Jaden. Go there. Go to Niani. Alien Weaponry, go to our friend here.
I'm liking this.
You are?
Yeah, this is good stuff.
This builder cannot do too much now. What the heck am I gonna do with this build? Just keep your turn for a second, my friend.
The Reo Maori heavy metal band.
Nice.
The Reo is probably one of the Iwis. Okay, watch me.
All the wiki.
Oh, sorry. Actually not. Good that I wiki correct myself. The Reo is the language.
Ah, alright.
It's an Eastern Polynesian language spoken by the Maori. The Reo.
Alright. Cool. Open borders and 30... No. No, sorry.
No, why would we wanna...
I don't know. Perhaps in the future we'll get a more agreeable deal.
Perhaps. Who knows what the future holds?
Perhaps.
We had this whole... Well, we could still cram it into the last 10 minutes.
Okay. What do you want?
Well, you wanted to talk about... Actually, we wanted to talk about a lot of other things during the stream.
Yeah.
We wanted to talk about high culture. I gave a little and like elitism in games.
We wanted to talk about that as well.
We wanted to talk... You wanted to talk about...
Decommissions the current power plant in the city, and replaces it with a nuclear power plant. Are we going to be building power plants and nuclear power plants in places?
It's up to you. I would say no. Because we know how dangerous it is.
But maybe in very remote places.
Because everybody knows that, nuclear fallout just sticks to its very remote place. It doesn't travel in the wind or anything like that.
So we don't need tourism anymore, by the way.
We don't need any of this anymore, Alice. It's all moot. It's really all moot.
Nothing matters. We're entering
at the end of history, as you can clearly see, is a sad time. The only thing that we're doing is the perpetual caretaking of the Museum of Human History. Yes. As you see.
As you clearly see, we just
did that. That, by the way, whoever can find out who this quote is from, we will send you a value t-shirt made by our very own Megalithic to your doorstep.
That is unexpected.
Yes, well, it's also unexpected for Megalithic because he needs to make a value t-shirt now very soon. But
if it happens,
if you give us the person who gave us this quote, then we will just do that. I like that.
You like it?
We just amped up our streaming game with introducing like giveaways.
Yes.
Sorry,
Krijn. But also not really sorry.
Oh, sorry, not sorry. Because you just needed that little push to start making t-shirts, man.
I'm gonna promote Magnus, by the way.
I like that. He's almost my namesake. So.
Yeah.
Whenever I played Paladins in D&D, I often called them Magnus.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, actually, I call them Magnus all the time. I've never had a Paladin that was not called Magnus.
Every time.
Yeah. I like Paladins in D&D.
Yeah.
Because they're so nicely straightforward.
I don't. No, they're not. I had the enemy spy skip.
They are.
They're boring. They are always good. You have to always straightforward play warrior. A fighter.
I don't like mechanically straightforward. Although in the D&D Next they're not so straightforward anymore.
Yeah.
And actually in D&D 4 they were also not so straightforward.
You mean
but
4th edition?
4th edition.
Yeah, but the 4th edition was crap.
Hey, not judging. Never played it.
This is a very popular opinion.
I just saw it as the pile of third it was, and then I decided to skip it off entirely. Sorry, anybody that likes D&D 4th edition.
Nobody likes D&D 4th edition.
There's this whole podcast out there called Critical Hit.
Yeah.
These people have been adopting 1st edition from the beginning and have a good following, by the way.
Yeah.
And they've just adopted it and just play 4th edition still now, to this day. They're taking their characters all the way up to level 13.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's some staying power.
Intense.
Yeah, I mean, they could have also just said F 4th edition and let's just move over, but they're sticking with it.
Okay. If that's what.
But anyway,
doing.
we wanted to talk about high culture or elitism in games.
Yeah.
And we wanted to talk. You wanted to talk about what?
What did I want? You wanted to talk about the article.
I wanted to talk. I've been grinding my gears.
Okay, let's talk about this then.
All right, as a sort of a little dessert at the end of what was quite a grandiose stream.
Yeah, because we also kind of won.
This morning in my Google feed, which is how I get all the information I ever care about, I somehow Google found out that I'm doing digital humanities.
Oh look, this island. We want to keep it from flooding.
That's excellent. That's excellent. We want to keep the natural natural state of the island intact. That's why we're just building this huge wall around.
Yeah.
The following article by Nan Zeda, or Zeda, who is an assistant professor of English at the University of Notre Dame. The digital humanities debacle. Computational methods repeatedly come up short. Quantitative methods are ascendant in literary studies, abetted by disproportionate funding, the absence of strict evaluative protocols, and a scarcity of knowledgeable and disinterested peer reviewers. It is time for the profession to take a closer look. Computational literary studies, the most prominent strand of the digital humanities, apparently, applies computational methods to literary interpretation, from a single book to tens of thousands of texts. Blah blah blah. We are told, for instance, that digital analysis of 50,000 texts proves that there are 6 or sometimes 7 basic literary plot types. A relatively famous paper within the digital humanities sphere. Not only has this branch of the digital humanities generated bad literary criticism, but it tends to lack quantitative rigor. Its findings are either banal or, if interesting, not statistically robust. The problem appears to be structural. And I'm not even going to go too much into detail here. So one of the things that Nanzeda says that basically the entire computational approach becomes just a rhetorical machine in which these digital humanities scholars get to discuss uninteresting things and present them as fact.
Okay.
And well, I have a lot of issues with this particular paper or article in the Chronicle of Higher Education. First of all, if this was just a blog, I mean, it's an opinion piece, clearly.
Ready.
But if this was just a blog, then I would have said, okay, you make some pretty bold claim. But I honestly don't know why it got into the Chronicle of Higher Education as because one of the things that it does to begin with is it does exactly what it accuses a whole field of. It uses rhetorical tricks to make their point. In this case, it's quite well written.
It is.
It makes rhetorical tricks from literary studies, in this case, so from the methods and the mechanics of literary studies, to make their point. It talks about the discourses that are underlying the computational approaches, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But really, it doesn't take seriously the full breadth of a discipline. First of all, it makes a bold claim that the most prominent strand of digital humanities is this computational literary studies, which I would highly doubt. First of all, if you really want to talk about strains in strands in digital humanities, there are plenty of other strands in there that are very prominent. Digital history, for example, being a very prominent one there.
Okay.
And however you want to call it, maybe even earlier and even more prominent. But it's sort of missing the point entirely, because digital humanities is very transdisciplinary. And what it ends up doing is not only quantitative analysis helped by, or abetted by, you would probably say, by computers. It is this much broader view of what humans end up doing with computers, both to do research as well as to just engage in the production of culture and society in general. Which is, I just asked you before, do you consider what we're doing here, do you consider the digital humanities?
I think it's part.
Yeah, exactly, it's part. I think it's the digital humanities as well, but it's part that has quite literally very little to do with computational literary studies.
No, computational literary studies is just a fraction of the potential of digital humanities.
And it's a struggle to start positioning, I think, the digital humanities as part of the broader humanities research.
I think it is a struggle, and I think it is so. It is also like it's also a theoretical struggle.
Yeah.
A theoretical, but as in what is it challenging, and it's clearly challenging a very traditional view of humanities, of doing humanities, of also the humanist as a scholar.
I think what it's challenging at its core is the assumption that text is the normative way that we should produce knowledge, that we should think about knowledge, that we should disseminate knowledge. That is really sort of at its core what it is. In fact, there's this much broad, of course, a huge mandate if you think about it as a discipline, and it's at the same time it's very much a narrow mandate because it ends up about being about media, textual medium versus other types of media.
Yeah.
And that's it's a theoretical positioning, which is not very easy if you're in the digital humanities. But at the same time, I'm not considering myself a digital humanist.
Yeah.
Neither do you.
No,
I
definitely am not.
I don't really consider myself any sort of thing. I used to be an archaeologist, but now not anything anymore. I'm very happy just to be saying a scholar or researcher or a teacher.
An academic.
Academic. I'm not so happy. I call myself an academic.
Let's do a reference, by the way.
Yeah, which academic throws rock concerts? I don't. Not many of them.
There are some.
There are. There's nothing wrong with call it. There's nothing.
They were bad. They did too horrible.
Who
this was the alien.
This was. I'm sorry, alien weaponry.
They did not convince.
They
did not convince. Let me tell you.
So this one also had some creative differences and split up.
Yeah.
Now that often happens with the follow-up band of.
Our submarine is ready to explore.
But
we're there.
The more problematic thing with this particular piece of text is that it construes the digital humanities as this focused field, and then also I think misconstrues what this focused field is about. Because I know people that quote unquote dabble in, for example, computational literary studies, and are very excited by it in their first papers. They're like, oh yeah, this is super new insight.
We lost Iron Jaden as well.
These were not very
not very good. Sorry, go ahead.
First time is the charm.
Yeah.
And they come up with these maybe grand claims, but that's often that is out of general excitement, not out of any sort of malfeasance of an entire discipline, but not because of sort of a.
The city that rebelled is coming under our.
What happens if we refuse it?
The city will be refused to let this city join your empire. It will remain a free city. This city will be immune to loyalty pressure from your cities and governors, and will not ask to join your civilization again. It could still be won over by a different civilization. The moral dilemmas.
I kind of like the idea of
them joining of their own free will.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're not going to refuse somebody to join us. I like also how they phrase it. Feel an affinity with us and willingly enter our civilization. And now we're going to spoil them.
Yes.
Spoil them.
I'm going to, for them, I'm just going to buy a granary.
And a sewer.
And I'm going to buy sewers.
And we're going to buy a builder and we're going to
buy a builder and we're going to ask it to produce a harbor.
Yeah, probably best.
Here on plus or here.
But it ends up misconstruing what basically most of, well, first of all, that substrand of the digital humanities is about, and then what all of the digital humanities is about, calling the whole thing a debacle.
Yeah.
And really, I was first of all, as I said, it ground my gears a little bit when I read about it, but then I was also very tired because this sort of, first of all, it has this sort of animosity towards data and towards like having a sort of a top-down view.
Yeah.
Which not necessarily saying that it is always better or whatever. And then it also misconstrues, in fact, the very contextual analyses that many people in the digital humanities, like the stuff we're doing now, are actually doing.
Mm-hmm.
Even when like big data guns tools are brought out, is almost always, in all cases, it's accompanied by very deep contextual analysis of the data, of the context in which those data were generated, of the context of the theories that are supporting hypotheses that were falsified or maybe proven right.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, what gets picked up by the press is always like, boom,
Yeah,
6-7 literary tropes.
Yeah.
But that's not
anything
really,
that seems impressive, anything that you can write.
that's not the fault. That's not the debacle of a research discipline. That is the debacle of modern day media and or sensationalism and one-liners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we discovered composite.
There we go. Boom.
Yeah, but this is good because look what we can build now.
Wind farms. Nice.
Wind farms.
Nice.
Which is really what I wanted for this place. So I'm gonna buy.
And really, this piece, this opinion piece, really went back to basically C.P. Snow's The Two Cultures, where it's a 1950s piece in which this, I think he was a physicist. I honestly, you know what? Wiki that.
Wiki grats.
All right. Snow, Two Cultures. British scientist, it says.
Mm-hmm.
C.P. Snow. Physical chemist. Well, close enough, Angus. Close enough. Where he makes this point that there is a lot of disdain for people on the side of culture, for the people that end up in the natural science. And of course, there's not a one-to-one mapping between like the digital humanities being the more scientific or whatever. But it has the same old-tired rhetoric, not that C.P. Snow is doing it, but that's what C.P. Snow is arguing against, of that there are two cultures out there. One that is really the key to truth and enlightenment, the cultures.
Yeah.
And in this case, sort of impersonated by Nan Seda. And then science, which produces the theories and like all the physics.
Yeah.
One you can talk about at a party, the other one you don't want to talk about at a party because that's not really.
Yes.
And that's really it. That to me is, that's not what she said in the piece.
No.
But it is really what it comes down to. This false opposition between two things, which also C.P. Snow shows is a false opposition, because in the end, what happens is that both sides really need each other.
Yeah. And it's very much true.
And I do think that for me, the digital humanities is a great field to explore and engage in, because it in fact allows you to do the two without any reservation from practitioners in the field itself. There's nobody in the field that's going to tell me like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that contextual analysis because that's not really what the digital humanities is about, right?
Yeah.
But however, somehow out there, outside of this perceived academic disciplinary identities, like, oh no, the digital humanities are about the quantitative methods and using computers to tell their stories. Stupid stories, by the way.
Stupid stories, yeah.
And that just, if you can have this sort of identity politics, even within something as the humanities itself, with people that I think should be educated on the epistemology and the interactions of different points of view and different ways of looking at the world, you still get this. It makes me a bit pessimistic about the human condition in general. Yeah, it does.
Well, I am pessimistic about the human condition.
Yeah, you are just, that's why you wear metal t-shirts.
So, with that, I would say...
With us being pessimistic.
I would say...
Both of us. We should
let's wrap this up.
You want to quickly evaluate the score for your island?
The score for my islands is 6-1.
6-1. Change it right now. You can just... no, it's Maori challenge. You can change it in. Up on top, yeah. Double click. Alright, and I will make this nice little pressy button for you later.
Yes, okay, thank you. We are at 6-1, which means that the best out of 10, I've done it.
You haven't, well, okay.
No, it's best out of 10, there's no way I lose.
There is still, because these cities could still lose loyalty.
No, they cannot lose loyalty. You have to admit that I did it. I did the best out of 10.
I actually, especially with Capiti growing so fast, so beautifully in this frigid condition, no pun intended, is impressive. It is a testament to how the Maori civilization works in civilization.
Yeah.
That you can even colonize these
It's
tiny.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask you for one more exhibition play, and then find a one tile island.
You want an one tile island?
Yes, in a like a horrible setting. Over there, for example, or over there.
Isn't there something here that we can do?
Even closer, you mean? Not really so far. No, but over.
We'll see. Yeah, okay, I know. We can try.
Prove the superiority of Maori island colonization, which is by extension Polynesian island colonization, which we don't have to prove because the Polynesian.
You know what? I'm just gonna buy this.
People's already there. You go. Already proved that plentifully.
So next, here's the deal. We have won.
Yeah.
The game. We have beat the video game.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do another stream. So next week we're gonna play possibly the last. Possibly, maybe we'll do two more, either one more or two more.
What we want. So wait, what are we gonna set as sort of the natural end?
The natural end is when either we sort of start stopping or reversing the climate change or hitting the climate change.
We have to choose one.
Well, one of the two will happen.
No, because the way climate change works is you will always end up you will mitigating it. You will mitigate. Oh, you mean we either mitigate its effects or we stop it completely?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Or we get flooded. And next week we're gonna start our stream by discussing the new governments. Okay. Because next week we're not gonna choose something now.
We're just gonna first discuss them.
We're gonna first discuss them and then choose.
I can feel this burning longing for you to talk about venture capitalism, politics.
Yes. An optimization imperative.
You want to talk about this, I know.
I believe we're gonna go for distributed sovereignty.
Maybe we're not gonna go for any of them.
Maybe not.
We're gonna research them, but we in fact may decide that not for us.
We may.
Find out next week.
When we will
play just one more turn and one more
turn and one
probably
more turn.
A couple more turns of
yes
Civilization 6.
Yes.
Gathering Storm.
Thank you very much. See you next time.
See you next time.